Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome in if this is your first time being here. My name is Melissa. This is Empowered Gems Tarot, and today we're going to be looking into what's up for you in the upcoming month of November. So we're going to do tarot and oracle cards for each of these readings, and then I'm also going to be using charms and dice. I will have that portion of each of the readings timestamped in the description box down below in case any of you guys like to skip ahead to that part first. But basically, we're just going to be looking into what's ahead for you. General energies this upcoming month of November. Remember that this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so messages will vary in how specifically they may resonate with each individual viewer out there. As a best practice, if anything that I say in your chosen reading feels confusing, or doesn't really feel like it fits your personal situation, take it as a sign that it's not your message today and that the reading that you chose is meant for somebody else out there in the collective. So release it, let it go, respect the message is not for you today. And if you do want to book a personal reading, sometimes those are better to get a more accurate read on your own energy. The link to my website, if you'd like to book with me, is in the description box down below. All right, so with all of that being said, let's go ahead and select your reading. We've got a choice between three today. If you're drawn to reading one, we're going to be working with this Bumblebee Jasper. If you're drawn to reading two, we'll be working with this Sardonyx. If you're drawn to reading three, we will be working with this Sodalite. No, not Sodalite. What is this? Scolecite, I think. Sorry. Scolecite, group 3. All right. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about the upcoming month of November and what is in store for you. Go ahead and select the crystal or card that you feel the most intuitively connected to. Once you've made your choice, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. See you there. Hey, group 1, if you guys were drawn to the Bumblebee Jasper, this will be your reading for the month of November. We're going to start with tarot and oracle cards, and then we'll also transition to charms and dice. If you guys like to skip ahead to the charms, I'll have that portion timestamped in the description box down below so you can see when that starts. But let's go ahead and see what the overall energy looks like for you this month. So we start off with crystals and herbs. Okay. We have Saturn, structure. And we have caring connections. All right, group 1. So it kind of feels like this month is about welcoming in some structure or accountability in terms of your relationships. It could be a relationship of significance, like maybe some of you, this is about like a romantic partner or just any partnership. But Saturn coming in next to caring connections makes me think of like stability, structure, responsibility, accountability, right? And so I feel like if this is a month, you're heading into the month where you've been having challenges in your relationships, you know, Saturn is coming in and is asking you to kind of step up, to take accountability, to take responsibility of the areas where maybe you've fallen short, even if it has to do with your partner or the person that you're dealing with. The two of you really working together to hold each other accountable, I guess, to fixing whatever the problems are. So Saturn, you know, it is an energy of commitment as well. So this could be a month where some of you guys are taking something to the next level of a commitment. It definitely is giving me a much more responsible energy when it comes to the way you're navigating connections this month. And with crystals and herbs being here, this can talk about being grounded in nature. So some of you guys could be spending time out in nature or spending time in the elements, or maybe literally working with crystals and herbs or plants or something. Maybe it's something that you guys like to do together with your partner, together with your friendships or connections or whatever the situation is. But Saturn and crystals and herbs are definitely kind of saying this is a month of grounding and practicality and structure and responsibility as it pertains to your connections or a connection of significance. So let's get into the tarot and let's see what else we get for you, group 1. So what else, Spirit, does group 1 need to know about their life this upcoming month of November? The Wheel of Fortune. Okay, that's interesting. Something changing. Something destined, maybe? We have the Hermit. One more. And we have an Ace of Swords. With an Ace of Cups here at the bottom. Cute. Interesting. Okay. So what is happening? There's definitely like an emotional opening here, an emotional undertone here with this Ace of Cups. So there's love and care and like potential for new beginnings here in your relationships or relationship of significance. But it feels like something is changing when it comes to your connection, group one. Feels like something is changing. I don't think it necessarily has to be for the negative, but I definitely feel like with Saturn here, something is changing in your connection. There's something fated, something destined about it. And I feel like there is an opportunity here for you to take a step back with the Hermit to kind of reflect a little bit on the structure of this connection or the boundaries in this connection. Maybe like asking yourself, have I showed up as my most responsible self in this connection? Have I been wise in the way that I've navigated this connection? Because the Wheel of Fortune coming up under the Caring Connections card, this has the every flavor beans in it from Harry Potter. So this sort of talks about the element of chance. It's sort of giving me haphazard energy when I look at that, because you think about like eating these jelly beans, you're pulling something out and you're not sure what you're going to get. Okay. So I think for some of you guys, maybe there's been like a haphazard energy with this connection that is on your mind or this connection that's coming up. For others of you, this could just have to do with maybe being spread too thin in your connections in general. Like this just makes me feel like, metaphorically speaking, maybe there's this energy of trying something and seeing how it works and then moving on to the next thing and seeing how it works, whether romantic, platonic, or otherwise. And so that is shifting and changing. And you're going within this month to really understand what it is that you want to commit to when it comes to a specific connection in your life or just a connection in general, love life, whatever. There's also this opportunity here for new beginnings in communication. I feel like you guys, through maybe going out in nature, working with the elements, like there's something about you being able to cut through any confusion here. And maybe you're seeing this connection from a new and different perspective. And maybe there's something that is needing to be addressed here through communication too. Because the Ace of Swords, it talks about new perspectives and new ways of thinking and speaking about things, those light bulb moments that kind of strike us when we least expect it, right? And so when I'm taking a look at this Ace of Swords, there is this image of Harry going after the basilisk, right? And so in the books and the movies, the basilisk was not something that anyone could see, right? Except for Harry, rather. And it was something that was causing a lot of damage. So it makes me feel like through communication, you're going to be able to address something within your partnership or partnerships that has been causing a lot of damage. And through communication, there's a new beginning here in the way that we show up. For some of you guys, I feel like with this Hermit, this is Mr. Filch and his cat, Mrs. Norris. You know, he kind of had a bad attitude, I'm not going to lie. Maybe some of you guys are pulling back your energy because you haven't been feeling the most positive about this connection, or maybe there's some bitterness here or some frustration here. And so this Hermit energy is providing you the opportunity to kind of collect yourself, so to speak, right? So let's keep going. I'm going to pull a couple of these astrology cards, and then we're also going to pull a card for career and a card for love, and then we'll move into your charms. So what else can you tell us, Spirit, about November for group one? What else is happening for them? What do they need to know, or what should they look forward to? Okay. We have Jupiter and Gemini, bluff. Okay, so there's definitely expansion through communication, which is echoed with this Ace of Swords. Jupiter also connected to the Wheel of Fortune. So I actually think communicating and opening up and expanding through communication is going to help things feel more fortunate in this situation. We also have the Moon in Aquarius, the 11th house, independence. 11th house is connected to friendship, so this could be a friend. Gemini, the 3rd house, connected to coworkers, so this could be a coworker for some of you, or a sibling. Take it as it resonates for you. Caring connection can really be any connection of significance that kind of comes to mind as you guys are coming into the reading. I'm going to go to the guidebook. So let's go to Jupiter in Gemini and just see what this can note for you. Okay, so this talks about gaining mental awareness, which makes sense with this Ace of Swords. This talks about a situation in which one has to impress others with knowledge, discussions about business or legal affairs, a lecture or talk to a group or society. So yeah, I think with this 11th house energy, this confirms that this could be like a business matter for some of you, which makes sense with Saturn, right? So this could be a business partner or a colleague or coworker or something to do with your work, where we're taking this chance, you know, maybe we're pulling back our energy, coming through with some communication for this connection. Once we've had the opportunity to kind of pull back our energy and reset here, showing up differently than we did before. Moon in Aquarius, that's a very detached sort of energy. This says some type of unconventional assistance, original ideas brought to bear on a situation or subject, a second opinion canvassed, an interest in astrology. Oh, maybe astrology is significant for some of you. But this talks about security, principles, and humanity. So there could be something about, with the Ace of Swords, some sort of unique idea or perspective that you're getting to talk through when it comes to this connection or this situation here. And it could come through a friend group or a group or community of people. But it makes a lot of sense with that Ace of Swords. It just feels like there's an energy of communication being key and cutting through any layers of confusion, cutting through anything toxic that's been causing problems within the dynamics here, and ultimately with Saturn showing up more structured and responsible within this connection. Okay, so let's take a look now at career, and then we'll take a look at love life, and then we'll move into your charms, group 1. So what's happening in career for group 1 this month, please, Spirit? Courage. Ask what you're afraid of so you can overcome what's holding you back now. There's a leadership opportunity for the taking. So there could be some good fortune coming through in work. Maybe you guys are kind of mustering up the courage to go after something in your career, something that's going to require leadership skill. We also have independence, so that's interesting that it's coming up twice. It's time to go out on your own and create your own business or try something well outside your comfort zone. Yeah, I feel like you guys are... It's like the 11th house of groups and friendships and hopes and dreams. Like there could be something connected to a partner or a coworker or a group, but maybe for you, you're going to be able to do something on your own because there is this hermit energy. It's almost like pulling back from the partner for a bit, pulling back from the group for a bit, and sort of having this new beginning in perspective, in communication, and how you're going about it as an individual. So definitely something around you standing out as an individual. All right, and what's happening in love for group 1, please, Spirit? We have honeymoon phase, attending someone's wedding. Beautiful. So, and then we have commitment. See, there's kind of that tie-in with Saturn. So there could be like a relationship in your love life that you guys are committing to this month as well. But this card kind of talks about like maybe you guys are traveling this month, or maybe you're going to a wedding, maybe you're going on a trip with someone or traveling more. So this is what I'm seeing, group 1. Let's go ahead and see what additional insight we can get through your charms. All right, group number group number one, sorry. We're going to get into your charms and dice next. So let's see what other insights, let me just kind of scooch this over a bit here. Let's see what other insights we can learn for you for your upcoming month of November. All right, so we've got some stuff happening for you in the career and business sector. We've got some social life stuff here. We've got our wand. We've got Saturn coming up in partnerships. This is so interesting. I'm excited. Okay. And then let's just pull some charms for you guys as well. What else, Spirit, for group one in the month of November? What do they need to know? Ooh, lots of stuff going on here. Ooh, it's interesting the squid is coming up here in the business sector. All right. Lots going on. Well, yeah, lots happening. We have some initials here as well. C, O, and J. So those could be initials for people connected to your social life, you guys. C, O, and J. I'm also noticing here in the love and partnerships energy, we've got Saturn coming up again, and then we also have a Christmas tree. Maybe for some of you, Christmas trees or Christmas is just significant. But we have this energy of commitment and structure and responsibility coming up in your love and partnerships energy again in charms. The Christmas tree in particular, it talks about joy. So maybe there's like an energy this month of you bringing joy back into your relationship, back into your partnerships through showing up more responsibly, or both people choosing to show up more responsibly and more accountable to the situation, which is beautiful. Yeah, so I think if things have been tough in your relationship and you guys have been like pulling back or taking some time away, I actually think that it's going to help you to come back in a much better headspace and a much more responsible and committed place when it comes to your relationship. Also with that honeymoon phase too. Like I feel like through commitment and responsibility and joy, it's like a commitment to joy is bringing a honeymoon phase back into your relationship, which is really, really beautiful. All right, so let's take a look at your social life energy. So you guys have the waning crescent moon. This talks about restoration and relaxation, and the wand talks about ego, spirituality, and creativity. So it's kind of interesting, right? Because it feels like there's almost this energy. There's a lot of energy here, excitement, maybe exciting opportunities for you to have social time or connect with other people this month. But the waning crescent moon suggests like a phasing out, right? Taking a step back, which kind of connects back to the energy of the hermit. Maybe for some of you guys, part of why there's a need to take a step back is because there's been too many other people around you affecting your relationship or your one-on-one partnerships. And so there is this energy of that one-on-one partnership being more of the focus versus all of these other people and exciting experiences that you're having. But just generally speaking, I do feel like for the majority of you, when it comes to social life, I think you're going to have a lot of opportunity that feels exciting and maybe a lot of different people that you get to connect with socially. But it feels very much like you're still taking a break from that, taking a step back. You may not be taking people up on their opportunity that they're providing you to be social. Now, you guys have a lot going on here in your career and business section of the chart. So interesting that the 11th house is coming up again. So this came up in your cards as well. The 11th house talks about friendships, groups, our hopes and dreams. And then you guys also have the number 6. So the number 6, this talks about responsibilities. It talks about balance, harmony, being a caretaker. Right. And it's interesting here, too, because we have the squid, which can talk about threats or like red flags that we need to watch for. So I think, again, there's something connected to this group situation that's coming up or other people that's impacting your career and business matters this month. I do feel like there's an emphasis here on restoring balance when it comes to your dealings with other people. And maybe some of this energy of social life or others is more about people that you're working with that 11th house being here. I do see you striving for more balance, but with that squid, I think it's just really important that whatever you guys are going through when it comes to your, the groups that you're a part of in your career and business, just make sure that you're watching for red flags, right? The squid is something that lives deep in the ocean, and we don't necessarily see it come. We don't necessarily see it coming, right? And it also is this type of predator that like stuns its prey through the ink, right? So that the ink cannot see that it's coming for them. So I would just watch it. I feel like there's something about someone that's around you in career that you just need to be careful around. And we do have the initial of the letter Z here as well. So that could give you a clue as to who you might need to watch out for. Just pay attention to red flags and make sure that you're striving for balance. I think especially if you guys tend to be like a caretaker or someone that has to take care of a lot of responsibilities in the workplace and those things are not balanced, watch for that. Because I think you might have someone around you that could potentially take advantage of that you're not fully seeing. Now, you guys also have some stuff up here in the finances and wealth section of the chart. You actually have the crown, which is exciting. This connects to honor and respect. So I think when it comes to your finances, I think you're going to be feeling pretty good this month. I think that you guys are feeling balanced. With the crown, it is making me think of something like someone standing out or you being like awarded something or kind of put up on a pedestal in some way. So maybe some of you guys are getting an increase in money. There was that energy of leadership that came through as well. So maybe for some of you, you're getting a promotion or stepping into like a leadership or authority kind of oriented situation, which would make sense with Saturn as well. And that could come with more money as well as more responsibilities, which would make sense with all this stuff we're seeing here with the 11th house. It's almost like within the group, you're the one that stands out and you're being elevated above and you're getting something financial for that for some of you. Now, with your health and well-being, we've got Taurus energy. We also have the little clam here. So let's take a look. A little seashell. So the seashell talks about beauty, and Taurus also talks about beauty, luxury, sensuous experiences, right? I feel like with health and well-being, you guys might be, again, focusing on things like travel or just like more sensorial experiences that help to boost your health and well-being. Maybe some of you guys are more focused on like physical appearance this month, maybe investing in a new beauty routine, makeup, skincare, cosmetic procedure, like there's something connected to your physical appearance and how you like to present yourself. Taurus energy is luxury. So luxury experiences could be significant here as well. It just feels like this is more about a month of like personal care and indulgence in that way versus like being a month about like physical fitness and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If anything, I feel like Taurus is more of a relaxed energy. I know like sometimes people like to say it's lazy. So maybe you guys are having a lazy month, but maybe that's what you need. It feels like with this waning crescent moon, there's something about the way you're connecting with others that I think with this Ace of Wands, there's energy and excitement here, but I feel like it might be burning you guys out a little bit. And it does tie in with your career. So I could see this being a month when it comes to your well-being where you're like, I just want to relax. I want to sleep. I want to rest. I want to like take a spa day. I want to just focus on my outer beauty. Right? It's not giving an energy of like running around a lot for our health, if that makes sense. Okay. Now in your home and family matters, you've got another initial here, the letter U, and then you also have the bells, and the bells can talk of news. So there could be something being brought to your attention around your home and family matters this month as well. The U could give you a clue. Maybe that's somebody's initials or the situation could have the letter U. This also could be literally like you, as in you, the viewer, right? So it could have something to do with your home for some of you. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's anything bad, but there's just some sort of news. I don't know, like I just feel like there's a Christmas theme here for some of you guys with the bell and the Christmas tree. And like I kind of see that with all the charms. Like I'm thinking of that song. Is it the 12 Days of Christmas? I don't know. I'm really bad with that stuff, but aren't there swans? I don't know if there's crowns, but like I just feel like there's swans and bells and all these things. So maybe Christmas coming up or that holiday season is significant for you. And that could be what the news is centered around. That could just be for someone very specific. We also have the swan here as well with spirit and self. So this is where we're going to close this out for you, group one. the swan talks of loyalty, and it's coming up in the energy of self and spirit. So I think what spirit is trying to say to you is that this month, just focus on your personal loyalties, like being loyal to yourself, and just be mindful, because it seems like you guys have a lot of activity and a lot of people around you. And I think that you guys are probably somebody who takes care of a lot. And if you're not careful, you're going to get burnt out or feel taken advantage of, right? So just try to be mindful of any red flags. If somebody's loyalty is wavering, or if they're draining and exhausting you or taking more than they're giving, there may be an opportunity for you to set a boundary here with Saturn, right? And so, and maybe also with your one-on-one partnerships, maybe there's like something being revealed to you this month about who really is loyal to you when you talk to them one-on-one. And so I feel like those are the people that you need to be putting more of your time and effort and energy into showing up responsibly for, the ones that are actually loyal to you, right? So super interesting message, group 1. Comment below. Let me know what you're planning for the month of November. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next reading really soon. Bye. Hey group 2, and welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Sardonyx crystal, this is going to be your message, and we're looking into your upcoming month of November and what's ahead for you. We will be starting with Oracle and Tarot cards, and then we will also transition into charms and dice. I'll have that section timestamped in the description box down below in case you guys like to skip ahead to that first. So let's go ahead and take a peek at your overall energies for the month. We start off with ancestors. We have Virgo. And we have anxiety coming through. All right. Virgo energy is connected to the 6th house in astrology. So this can talk of our health, our routines, our work that we do in our day-to-day. Virgo energy can also be an energy where we can be in our head a lot because it is mutable earth. And, Virgo can have its sort of like perfectionistic tendencies to it and be a little bit self-critical at times, right? So there could be some themes around that are coming up for you guys this month, group 2. Maybe some of you guys are just worried or stressed over like health matters or work matters or routine matters. This energy of Virgo, though, it's kind of got this other message to it in this deck, which talks about making sure nothing goes to waste, right? So maybe you guys have been putting a lot of effort or energy into something, and maybe there's like a fear here or a worry that it's not going to be enough or that it's not going to work out. And I feel like what Spirit is saying is that whatever the situation is about for you, you can still make the most of it, right? And that could be what you're ruminating on this month. Now, it's interesting you have the message of ancestors here. So this typically talks about when our ancestors are guiding us, right, and protecting us. So I do think if you guys are feeling worried or fearful about your situation, Spirit is letting you know that your ancestors are around you, supporting you. This card also for me can talk about like digging deeper into our roots, digging deeper into our lineage to better understand ourselves. So there could be a component to that as well coming up for you, group 2, as you navigate the month of November. So let's take a peek and see what other info we can get here for you. So what else can you tell us about November for group 2, please, Spirit? Ooh, this is so beautiful. We have the star. The 3 of Cups. And we have the High Priestess. This may not be the case for all of you. I am wondering if for some of you out there, one of your relatives has recently passed away. Maybe there's some sort of memorial service that you guys are going to early in the month, right? With ancestors coming through and the star, this is when right after Dumbledore passes away in the book, in the movie. So there's a synchronicity there that, if that's not your situation, obviously just disregard that. But I do wonder if for some of you out there, you've been experiencing a loss or grief in your life heading into the month of November. So the star is an energy of healing. It's an energy of hope, optimism, things feeling a little bit better. So I do think for those of you that have been feeling stressed or anxious or sort of worrying and overthinking things, I feel like coming into the month of November, things are going to start feeling better for you. Things are taking a turn in the right direction. It may just simply have to do with you kind of shifting your mindset or allowing yourself to process through some healing that you need to do. I'm also getting for a lot of you that groups, being around people, friends, family, specifically friendships, could be really healing and significant to you this month as well. Because if we look at this, there's like a whole crowd of people standing here in unison together. These are not necessarily relatives, but they are people that love each other, right? And the Three of Cups can talk about friendship as well. Maybe this has to do with work friends or something like that with Virgo being here, just people in your day-to-day that you connect with. Whatever you do every day in your routine is what this is talking about this month. So that could be work, it could be like community service, it could be whoever it is that you're interacting with in this day-to-day. So yeah, it feels like there's a turn for the better here with the Star and the Three of Cups. Some of you guys could be just infusing more joy into your life or connecting more with friends, or, you know, that Virgo energy is so serious and so like perfectionistic at times and critical. So maybe it's kind of like finding that balance and taking the load off, the mental load off of yourself by finding the opportunity to connect with friends more. But yeah, there could also just be something here around like work community that's significant too. Now, what's interesting here with this High Priestess is that this is very much about trusting your intuition. Sometimes when we're in anxiety mode, it's because we're not trusting our intuition, right? And so I do think through you guys, like connecting with your ancestors, leaning back, sort of observing what's going on and trusting your discernment, trusting your inner guidance, it's going to allow you to see more clearly whatever it is that you need to see here. So toward the end of the month, you guys might be kind of more reserved, I feel, just kind of leaning back and observing this group or this community that you're a part of, not necessarily being the one that's in the weeds of everything, but just watching and listening to what your gut is telling you. You guys also have the Page of Pentacles here at the bottom of the deck as well. And so the Page of Pentacles is student energy, right? Maybe some of you guys are in school and maybe that's part of what this is about, going to school. Yeah, I mean, we're at Hogwarts too, which is kind of an interesting synchronicity with the Star being here and Professor McGonagall and the High Priestess. Yeah, so maybe there's something about school that's significant to some of you, higher education. All right, let's continue. What else, Spirit, for Group 2 this month? What else is happening? Okay, this one flew out. We're going to take it. We have Venus in Sag, the 9th house, flirtation. Ooh, okay. What else? 9th house is connected to higher education and travel as well. We have Saturn in Capricorn, riches, the 10th house coming through as well. So your career house and your education and travel houses are being, yeah, and look at this. Saturn in Pisces in the 12th, loss. I do feel like for some of you guys, there's been a recent loss. It may not necessarily be like a literal passing away of someone, but maybe there's some sort of loss, some sort of change or metaphorical death that you've been going through. Yeah, so the 9th house can talk about our higher education, long distance or foreign travel. And we have Venus and Sag. So there's a lot of expansive energy here for you guys, especially coming in at the very beginning of the month. There could be maybe something romantic lighting up for you guys this month too with Venus and Sag. Maybe you guys meet somebody when you're traveling, or you meet somebody at school. Sagittarius, it's a very expansive, curious energy. So it feels like really light and fun when I'm tapping into this energy. Maybe some of you guys get anxious in relationships. Maybe that's what you're feeling anxiety about for some of you. But then we also have the 10th house, Saturn in Capricorn. So this is like heavy duty responsibility here. Let me pull the guidebook. We're going to look at both of these a little bit more closely, starting with Venus and Sag. This is a new deck that I got, so I'm still kind of learning the meanings of all the cards. So bear with me. Let's see. Venus in Sagittarius. Okay. Love, optimism, and adventure. This says for events, a foreign lover or holiday romance that blossoms, a marriage abroad, a lighthearted flirtation just for the adventure. That sounds really fun, group 2. Yeah, I feel like there's a little love energy popping up for you. And maybe it's making you feel anxious because you're in this Virgo mode, like having things be a certain way. And this Sag energy is not going to be like that. It's not going to be super structured or rigid. It likes to be kind of fun and flirty and exploratory, you know? All right, let's take a look at Saturn in the 10th. Okay, this is ambition, duty, and perseverance. Okay, so for events, this says the stock market, dealings with government organizations, involvement in politics, receiving an honor of some kind. So something connected to duty and service. Maybe even some of these governmental organizations could be significant for some of you. 10th house is public image as well. So with riches being here, it does feel like there's something that you could be publicly recognized for financially for some of you. If you guys have recently lost a loved one, as we see here with Saturn and Pisces, maybe there's some sort of like inheritance coming, even though the 10th house isn't really inheritances, but that could be a theme for some of you that you're working through this month. Maybe some of you guys are doing something within government work that you're going to be publicly known for. Politics, right? So let's see. Let's take a look at career energy, and then we will take a look at your love energy as well. All right, so in career, we have freedom. You need to have more flexibility with your schedule and income. Being self-employed is ideal. Time off will help you get clear. So maybe that Venus and Sag is you guys taking some time off from work, right? Because it's like we have all this anxiety over this Virgo energy, and then we come into all this beautiful healing energy with the star, the 3 of Cups, this flirtation energy. So I feel like for a lot of you guys in November, you could be traveling or planning a trip or just like trying to infuse more fun into your life outside of work. And maybe that's something that you guys are reflecting on with Virgo, you know, because that, again, it talks about our daily routines. And so maybe there's just something about your daily routine that is changing this month or that you would like to change this month so that it does allow you to have more freedom and flexibility to come and go as you please. Okay. Now let's take a look at love life because you guys have this flirty energy with Venus and Sagittarius. So I want to know if there's anything else with that. Let's take a look, group 2. We do have health. Interesting. So yeah, that makes sense with Virgo. And then we have give it time, everything in divine timing, let things flow. So I feel like with that flirty energy, Spirit is saying just like have fun with it. Don't ruminate over it too much. I feel like with the anxiety thing here and this health, this is kind of talking about mental health stuff. So just watch for that when it comes to the love situation. Don't let it kind of get you all in a spiral. And coming back to this High Priestess and this ancestor energy, I feel like you guys are protected, right? So just trust your intuition as it pertains to this situation. And you're going to see it more clearly if you just lean back and trust. If you get in your head too much about it, it's going to cause some imbalances here. Okay, so let's take a look, group 2, and see what your charms have to say next. All right, group 2. So let's go ahead and continue your reading with your charms and dice. I'm going to start with the dice and just see what else you guys need to know about the month of November for you. Okay, so we have this dice coming up here. I feel like all the other dice just kind of fell off, so we're going to take them off. They did not land anywhere cleanly. Let's go ahead and grab some charms What else, Spirit, for group 2? What else do they need to know about their life in this upcoming month of November? All right. All right. Well, I definitely see you guys being adored as it pertains to your family this month, which kind of makes sense with the star. Home and family matters should be feeling really good for you guys in the month of November. This is sort of like that expression when you think someone hangs the moon and stars, right? So there could be something really optimistic or healing happening with regard to home and family this month. And again, I do feel like for some of you guys, if you've recently lost a loved one, obviously the grieving process is not linear. It's ever present, right? But I do feel like things are going to be feeling better for you this month as it pertains to that situation. With your health, I feel like you're navigating something. So it makes sense with that Virgo energy that we got. I think you're navigating something, you're steering through something. Spirit is not really indicating what it is. I feel like you know specifically what it is, and it could be mental health stuff for some of you guys. I think especially with this unicorn coming up here with the waning crescent moon, the unicorn can talk about like not seeing something clearly, or I think they even use the word delusion. I'm just checking to see. Sometimes it's so harsh. Unicorn, Pegasus, Fantasyland, not as it seems. Yeah, I think there is something with your mental health this month that you guys are moving through. And the waning crescent moon talks about restoration and relaxation. So I think as you're navigating through your day-to-day stuff, group 2, Spirit is just saying, like, take some time to rest. Take some time for yourself to rest and cut through any of the fog that you're feeling. I feel like you guys are just tired, with regard to something in your life. Feels like you guys are just tired and needing some rest. So just make sure you're prioritizing that, because it's going to help you to better navigate through your personal well-being this month. Now, there is some faded energy coming up here in finances and wealth for you. So that's kind of interesting. The playing cards talk about fate, and we did have this energy of riches coming through with the Saturn in the 10th in Capricorn. So again, I do feel like there is something coming up for you guys this month around finances that's a faded energy, and it could have to do with you getting some sort of like position that's really public facing, or maybe an inheritance for some of you guys. And then finally, we have this elephant here. And this one, it did kind of come up in the middle. It was kind of like here. So it's sort of between career and social life. Let's just take a look. I'm try to remember what the elephant is. Elephant, community. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's cool that it's kind of split between career and social life, because I think in both aspects, community is going to be important for you guys this month. We had that come through with the star. I feel like that could be connected to family stuff for some of you, or friends, or school, classmates. And then we also have this community energy of the 3 of Cups. So I think in your career and in your social life, there's healing happening through community. So just make sure that you're connecting with others as you see fit, but staying balanced in terms of your own rest and just mental health and well-being this month, group 2. So beautiful energy. This is what I see. Comment below. Let me know, you guys, what's been happening in your life and what your plans are for November. And I'll see you guys in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey there, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you guys selected the Scolecite crystal, I think I've got that right now. This is going to be your reading. We're looking into what's ahead for you in the upcoming month of November. So I'm going to begin with your Oracle and Tarot cards, and then we're going to transition into charms and dice. I will have that portion of the reading timestamped in the description box in case you guys like to ever skip ahead to that first. So let's go ahead and jump into your overall energies for the month, group 3. So we start off with the Witch, which is a really beautiful card. Okay. We have Venus, also super beautiful. And we also have the Sun. Oh, so gorge. Okay. All right. So in these overall energies for you, group 3, I'm getting a lot of beauty, peace, restoration, creativity. I just feel like the month of November looks really blessed for you. Now, again, we're going to look at the tarot. The tarot tends to be a little bit more cutting, a little more direct in the energies, but like initial energies that I get from this are very positive. The sun talks about new beginnings and when things are feeling really creative. So there could be something creative that you guys start in the month of November. I also just feel this really warm, sort of relaxed energy from the sun. It's like she's here, she's in the pool, she's out in the sun, she's relaxing. So that could be a part of your routine this upcoming month of November, is just getting more rest, relaxing, maybe going out in the sun, going out in nature. I feel like there's a lot of nature and beauty that I see in all of these cards, so that could be highly significant to some of you. Venus coming through can talk about matters of love or matters of money and value. So that could be kind of at the heart of your energy this month. Group 3 is really kind of thinking about matters of the heart. What do I value? What do I value at work? What do I value in life? What do I value in love? Kind of pondering all of these things. Venus is also beauty. And again, there's a lot of beauty that I see in all of these cards. I feel like for some of you, you could be maybe doing some physical appearance upgrades this month as well. The witch is nice to see too, because this talks about standing in your power. It talks about alchemy. Understanding like your power and the wisdom that you hold in your ability to create what you desire. Maybe for some of you guys, you do identify as a witch, right? So this could be a month where some of you guys are kind of exploring that a little bit deeper. But the witch just talks about wisdom as well, right? Wisdom and healing. And you kind of being at the center of your own power. So anyway, I feel like you guys are just like in a very empowered place in the month of November, group 3. Feeling good, feeling bold, feeling beautiful, feeling powerful, working through your healing. Let's continue. So what else, Spirit, does group 3 need to know about the month of November? What's happening for group 3 this month? Okay, well, here comes the tea. So we have the devil. Okay. We have the 8 of Cups. Okay. And then we have the 4 of Wands with a Page of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. This is so funny. I wonder for some of you guys when it comes to love, like with Venus being here, I wouldn't be surprised if there is something happening for you in your love life, but it's making me wonder if you guys like put yourself out there or you tried something new in love or tried to connect with a new person and it's like they kind of transformed into something that you weren't expecting. I mean, this cup turned into a rat. Maybe there's something to that. I don't know. But you see how he's kind of startled by it? I don't know. It just makes me wonder if there's an undertone of that here. But you guys do have some heavier energies at the beginning of the month with the devil and the 8 of Cups. So I do feel like there is some situation here that's requiring your attention, that's requiring healing. Obviously, this card is depicting the devil as Voldemort. So this is going to be somebody who's like really, a character that's all about power, who is very toxic in a lot of ways. I'm also kind of noticing the codependent relationship being highlighted with his pet snake here as well. So it's just like a really stark contrast to these beautiful energies that are coming through in the Oracle cards, group 3. I feel like there's a situation here as you guys are entering into the month with the sun that maybe like the light is being shown onto something that's toxic within this dynamic, or you guys are seeking healing and restoration once this has come to the light for you, because it feels like something that is very dark or just very much has a hold on you. And it's not fulfilling with this Eight of Cups, right? There's an energy of walking away from this toxic dynamic or this toxic situation or behavior or person, because it feels like it didn't really work out the way that you thought that it was going to, or something about it changed and kind of caught you off guard, not in a good way. So yeah, I feel like with the Sun, this does talk about creativity and new beginnings. And with this Devil, Eight of Cups energy, that might come when you guys make the decision to walk away from a situation that's no longer serving you, that's had kind of a toxic or unhealthy grip over your well-being and your mental energy. So it's like there's this energy of walking away with Venus to really explore our value, right? To explore what it is that we want, to explore what we're looking for in love or life or whatever this situation is. And toward the end of the month with this Four of Wands, this is like a beautiful opening, right? The Four of Wands can talk of community and harmony, being open to something new. This could even have to do with family and home matters as well for some of you. Maybe that's what this is. But maybe there's just like an energy of focusing more on building a more healthy and open community with the Witch card coming through. The Witch, though, is just reminding you that you have the power that you need to alter your circumstances, right? And so if you're starting off the month and you're in this Devil energy, you're in the situation that's toxic or it's just like not really working for you, the Witch card is basically Spirit telling you like you have the power to transmute this energy and to make something better out of it or manifest something totally different. All right, so let's continue group 3. What else is happening this month for you? We have Mars in Virgo, the 6th house, criticism. It wouldn't surprise me if this is a work thing. We've had a lot of work stuff coming up in these readings, but Virgo energy is going to be connected to like your day-to-day routines, work stuff. Maybe this is like a coworker dynamic for some of you. This can also talk about your health for some of you. Let's see. We also have Moon in Gemini, 3rd house, adaptability. That's another house that can have to do with like coworkers, siblings, acquaintances, and things like that. I do feel like there's something here with this Sun in Sagittarius that you guys are really excited about, though. And maybe that's what the Sun energy is talking about. Like there seems to be some sort of new beginning, something creative that you're going to have the opportunity to explore that you're really excited about. And the 9th house is a bit more public, but it can also have to do with themes of education, travel, spirituality, which would connect in with the Witch. So keep an eye out for that, I would say. But yeah, I feel like with this Mars in Virgo, like the toxic dynamic is something to do with like those themes of work, coworkers, day-to-day stuff. When I take a look in the guidebook, this is associated with taking action toward perfection and service. So this talks about a cooperative research project, a position of responsibility in a large organization, a personal assistant to an important person. So those could all be factoring in to maybe like the balance that you guys are seeking early in this month. Now our Moon in Gemini, let's take a look at that one in the 3rd. So this is security, mental awareness associated with Gemini. So this talks about important discussions with relations, taking examinations, confused thinking, information changes, secretive comments, laying one's cards on the table. So there's definitely something about communication and having to be flexible and maybe juggle. That's significant this month as well. Maybe some important conversations are taking place. Again, the 9th house can have to do with higher education. So maybe there is a test or an exam that some of you guys are taking that's opening up opportunity for you at the end of the month. Let's continue with career next. The Devil could be corporate America for some of you, or just corporate life, you know, working at this large organization that maybe doesn't align with your values, but you guys have like a very sort of comfortable relationship with it, or codependent relationship with it, rather. So let's continue group 3. What else, Spirit, for group 3 this month in career? We have adventure. You make exciting work moves that could take you outdoors or on a trip. You will need to climb steadily to reach your financial goals. So maybe there is an opportunity for travel here this month as well, which would make sense with this Sagittarian energy, this sun in the 9th coming up. So some of you guys could be traveling for work this month. We do also have this energy of putting your demands on the table and asking for what you want. So maybe some of you guys are opening up those conversations with this moon in Gemini and realizing that you have the power to convey your value and to advocate for yourself. And maybe that's where that Mars in Virgo energy is coming from as well. Like maybe for some of you guys, this is about you speaking up for yourself and saying, hey, this is what I deserve. This is what I'm worth. So let's see. What about love life for group 3 this month, please, Spirit? We have confession. Someone has something to tell you. And then we have Mercury retrograde. I do think Mercury will be in retrograde as I'm posting this video. So maybe there's something coming out or something being revisited within your coworker life, because that's what it feels like this reading is mostly tapping into, is like work, colleagues. Could be love life though too with Venus. But yeah, it feels like there's maybe some communication being revisited here, something coming into the light that you weren't expecting. So what I'm going to do next, group 3, is I'm going to clear these cards off to the side, and then we're going to take a look at your charms. All right, group 3. So let's jump into your charms and dice and just see what other info we can get for you about the month of November and what's ahead for you. Ooh, so lots of stuff coming through with health and well-being. We've got some stuff in finances. I actually feel like these, I don't usually take them when they fall off, but they're literally all cleanly here in career, so we're just going to keep them. All right, let's pull some charms for you, group 3. Let's get them mixed up. Okay. And let's just take a peek at what else for November for group 3. Okay. Ooh, lots of stuff coming up for you guys. All right. Okay, so where do we want to start? I kind of want to start with the career and business area, because I feel like we were getting a lot of those messages within your tarot portion of your reading. So you guys have a full moon, you have the 10th house, and you've got the number 3. Number 3 does talk about creative expression. So this kind of echoes that message of the sun, that maybe there's an opportunity for you guys to do something creative in your work life this month. With the 10th house, I do feel like this is going to be something that is public facing, where it's going to be viewed. Like you're going to be known for this, or something where a lot of people are going to have eyes on it. With the full moon coming up too, this is really beautiful because this can talk about an accomplishment, an achievement, something that's closing out, that's opening up an opportunity for a new beginning. So maybe this is something that you're really proud of, that you're getting recognition for, that's coming full circle this month. In your financial area of this chart, we also have the sign of Aquarius. So maybe for some of you guys, you are earning money this month through groups or communities, or just through your own individuality and uniqueness, or doing something kind of rebellious, because Aquarian energy is very much like, I can be a part of the group, but I also bring my own unique self into the group, right? So there's something about your own unique energy that is allowing you to earn money this month. Maybe community service stuff is leading to like a financial gain, or getting out into the community or being in a group is leading to more opportunity to earn money. You guys also have some stuff here on your social life and others. So we have a star here in particular. So the star does talk about dream fulfillment. So there could be something really positive that you're getting to experience as it pertains to your social life. So for those of you viewing group 3, If there's some sort of goal or aspiration that you've had with regard to social life or your community or connecting with others, I do feel like you're getting it this month. This is literally the energy of a fulfilled dream or a goal, and maybe it is connected to this accomplishment in your career as well. Now we have fire energy, and we also have the North Node coming through in your health and well-being section of this little chart. Okay, so the fire element has to do with energy, drive, and passion. And this North Node has to do with destiny, right? Karmic experiences, or just sort of the energy of being pushed out of our comfort zone. So there is like some sort of destined or karmic energy that's coming through for you guys around your health and well-being in the month of November. It feels really positive to me though with this fire energy, because to me this feels like you're becoming more active, or you're doing something that really energizes you in a positive way and just makes you feel really, really good, really magnetic. Maybe it's this accomplishment, this achievement that you're getting in your career that could also be pushing you in this really positive direction of just like better mental health, feeling good about your routine, things of that nature coming through. Now, you guys have a lot of activity here in your home and family life as well. So we've got the moon and stars. I think this came up in another group, but this talks about the energy of being adored, right? Think of that expression, hung the moon and stars. This could have to do with you feeling adored by your family or your community this month, group 3. It could have to do with just things feeling really good in this area, or you adoring somebody in your family. You're navigating through some stuff. With the wheel, there's some faded energy that you're navigating through. Whatever the situation is, though, it's like with this key, there's an energy of you being able to unlock the path forward through your own spiritual wisdom that you have. And so maybe this is where that devil energy is coming through, and this witch energy, right? Because the witch is all about understanding our power, and that our power is what unlocks the key to the path forward. So I feel like that energy could be very well connected to your home and family stuff that you're navigating through this month. Group 3. We have the energy of self and spirit with the clothespin, which talks about securing and holding something down. Okay, so maybe there is an energy of security that is significant for you this month, or wanting to pin something down with regard to yourself or your own well-being or your spiritual insights or knowledge. And your advice is kind of similar with the button, because this also talks about securing something, but it also talks about pushing through, and you've got the letter E. So the E could be somebody's initials or clue about what the situation is. That's the most significant for you. But the advice of the button is about pushing through to secure something. And I feel like it's kind of mimicked here with this clothespin. So I feel like whatever it is that you're going through this month, Spirit is saying just keep pushing through, keep going, because that security and that safety is coming in for you this month. I feel like a lot of it is connected to this and your home. So this is what I see for you, group 3. Comment below. Let me know what your plans are for the month of November. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one soon. Bye.